ain't got it. Fat broke. We ain't got it. Don't spend no money. Ain't got no clothes. Ain't got no cars. Ain't got no hoes. We broke.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're now listening.
1, 2. We broke.
Right, it's another week and another episode of Two Broke Twimbos. We are back. It is the Heroes Weekend though when we're recording this. So, you know, soft, slow, chill. My name is Danny, that guy, aka Denias, aka the only guy, aka your girlfriend probably pities me, aka done more. Or when you look inside my wallet, it's more like done less.
That's right. And he's here with one and only, the unmistakable, the irrefutable, the most surely can be doctorable, the inexcusable, sometimes unbearable. Phil Chard, aka Flame Floss the Big Boss Baby, aka
Pizza P.
aka Flame Floss the Big Boss Baby, aka Sexington Lovu, aka DJ Mkarat, aka Shamari Kitengero Drink. That's right. And you know what, Dan?
What?
I've got the keys, Dan.
You got the keys. You got the keys.
Yes.
Keys.
That's right. So, I got the keys. And then some else. Then I got the keys. Bars all day.
It's the most obvious skit, but obviously I still wanted to do it. Where someone loses their keys and they can't find their keys and then you just stop playing, you know, that future hook. I got the keys. I saw like 55,000 vines doing that. They're still funny each time. So thank you, Future. Thank you, DJ Khaled. You really are the best. So I did mention earlier, I mean, like, we're on holiday. I was playing with an owl yesterday, Phil.
You're playing with an owl? A
yes,
Zuzu?
Zizi.
A Zuzu?
Zizi.
A Zuzu.
Anyway, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, he came and perched on my arm. We had a brief moment. And then he flew away to chase a rat. I was at the bird gardens. You know, taking a well-deserved break, really. And just trying to see how white people have fun, you know. And yeah, they play with owls, and apparently it's cool. Fish eagles too, but I wasn't messing with that. I was like, thanks.
Funny enough, I was with the Caucasians myself yesterday.
Oh, nice. See, we're diversifying, yeah.
The family decided to have a family outing out in Nyanga. I relented, but you know, eventually I was like, you know what, screw it. Let me spend some QT with the old folks. So we took a drive up there, and I was periodically stopping to take photos, which annoyed them immensely. But you know, that's the cost of tagging along with Phil. Anyway, we got to a few places, and there was this is like a grove. It's like a private pool at the national park where just basically all the white people go. And I tell you, I have not seen so many white people in Manicaland in years. It's ridiculous.
I guess they were celebrating Heroes Day, you know, in the way that they know how, and really just, I suppose, just giving a nod to the heroes of our country, I would imagine.
As they normally do. I mean, who else would they look up to? Obviously, you know, Tongogara, Ngomo, you know, Mbuyane Handa. White people revere these figures.
Yes, they're very dear to their hearts, and it's good to see that. It's good to see that. It's the same at this bird gardens that I was at. It was good to see the white people really respecting the natural order of things that they found in Africa, and not messing with it in any way. You know what I mean? Just observing as hands-off documenters.
That's really what the white man is known for, Dan. I mean, just coming in peace, you know, not taking land that isn't theirs, not forcing their culture upon a people.
Definitely not.
Just being one with nature.
No.
Yeah.
It's finding the beauty of a place and enhancing it and contributing to it by supporting the culture that's already in place and not force changing people's religion or views, really. So it was good to see it in action. And I was playing with owls, so that was fun.
We've got to commend them for that. I think the buzzword is the cultural exchange.
Yes.
You know, that is what they are known and acknowledged for, that cultural exchange that they are active participants in.
The Olympics of colonialism, really. It's just getting everyone together, just to have a good time, you know, with fireworks and so on.
Yes, it's like the Commonwealth Games, but before there were medals, the prize was living to see another day.
Yes. And it's a prize that most people, well, not let's say no most, let's say a lot of people won. So we can be grateful that there were those who actually won that medal.
That is indeed correct. Shout out to them because clearly we are ancestors of the winners. We mustn't forget the
Descendants.
we mustn't forget those that weren't able to win that gruesome race. No pun, obviously. This is a serious topic. But yeah, I think we've taken a turn, Dan. We've taken a turn down a very grimy, very grim
happy
path.
thoughts. You're right. Anyway, yeah, so, having the couple of days off, it's been good. It's been nice. Although I seem to not be able to know when to put a full stop at fun. But that's another story for another time. Yeah, no, had a great time, and I'm feeling a little bit energized, as you can tell from my very bright and sparkly voice. And it's really what's going on. I missed out on the Anne Kansiime show though.
So did I, and I was heartbroken. By the way, guys, the way Anne was flirting with Dan was disgusting. Ugh.
That's what she does.
Ugh.
That's how she interacts with people. Flirting is funny, and comedians they're funny.
Ugh.
Plus, I was also sort of prodding in that direction. She's cute.
That I won't deny. But
Yeah. So Anne Kansiime performed this past weekend. I managed to get some reviews of what happened at the show from those who were there. I was speaking to Pam earlier. Many people know Pam. She hosts some nights at Pablo's. By host, I mean as in organizes the whole evening. She was telling me about the show and that basically Anne was all right. Q was really good apparently, and Baba Tensen was terrible.
what?
Absolutely,
A Facebook skit artist is terrible live. I'm shocked.
It was his debut performance, and he had 10 minutes, and it turns out it was 11 minutes too long.
Hold up. All out. So Baba Tenzin has never done a set in his life, a live set ever. Like he's never worked his material out, not even in front of a kindergarten or nothing. This was literally a baptism by fire.
Look, I don't know what he's done before, to be honest, but that same night was another debut performance from Gonyet. Bus Stop TV Gonyet.
Why are people giving acts debut performances?
She was
on
good
major
apparently.
bills?
Gonyet was apparently really good. Baba Tensen was terrible. In fact, no, hold on. Let me actually look at a review that I saw online. Hold on.
Okay, yeah. While you look at the review, my point being, right? I think this is probably why Carl is so adamant about getting a comedy club in this country. Overseas, for example, even in South Africa, when Trevor Noah wanted to do comedy, he'd go to a comedy night, open mic night, and then that's where you perfect your act.
Yeah, you work your way up. Yeah.
That's when you figure out, okay, this is how I approach the audience, this is how I build up my joke, this is how I work my timing, you know what I mean? Being funny on Facebook is not the same as being funny live. You and I can be funny on Facebook till the cows come home, but there's no way I'm going to go live because I know I'm not funny on stage.
No, it's exactly the same. People keep seeing me, like back in the day when I used to be funny on Twitter, people were like, Dan, you should do stand up. I'm like, I'm not stupid. Thanks though.
Guys, people need to understand, bro. Live comedy and just being funny are two very, very different things, which is why I respect stand-up comedians. There's a certain level you're at. And I don't think I'm funny just because I crack a joke on Twitter or just because I write a post and a couple lols in the comments. Fam, I'm not funny. I'm not like that. I'm not at that level. So I would never, ever in my life be like, let me try some stand-up. I feel I could succeed at stand-up. That's the way I should go.
What I remember at Shoko Festival, Phil and I were emceeing. And just dipping the tip of that toe in the water, I was like, yeah, no, you know what? Let's just announce the act.
No, but that crowd was that was a baptism of fire. A real guys, that crowd was so rowdy, they were throwing cans.
All right, this is the review. This is from Neanda Radio. Hansi, while a lot was expected from the hilarious South Africa-based Zimbabwean comedian Baba Tenson, popularly known for his Kuripwa Kugara video skits, who was also part of the show, the comedian failed to rise to expectation despite receiving a standing ovation when he got to the stage. The 40-year-old chibi-bred comedian's dry jests left thousands of people disappointed as he proved that it was a different script to perform on stage, unlike his usual rib-cracking video jokes. Which is what we're saying, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean,
No.
his videos, like, when I watch them, I can sort of see why some people would find them funny, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, some of them are, some of them really aren't. The only person, let me think. The only person who consistently makes funny jokes on Facebook, or quote unquote Facebook stars, is the comic pastor. Besides him, I really struggle to see like who else is consistently hilarious.
On the other hand, Gonyets, apparently she was really good. Baba Tenson failed to match the bar set by rising comedian Samantha Gonyet Kurea. Her name's Samantha. Of Bus Stop TV, who carried the underdog tag from the lineup of performance of the night, and as her 10-minute debut solo performance on the big stage left fans clamoring for more. During her exciting set, Gonyet's jests were centered on First Lady Grace Mugabe's entry into politics, homosexuality, and bond notes.
I just remembered it's not her debut performance. I've seen her perform before. There's actually stuff on... Is it not Magamba TV's YouTube? She's done stuff at...
Yeah, it says here a solo debut performance.
At Alliance Française.
Because she didn't.
No, she's done solo.
Oh, solo acts? I don't know. All right.
I'll check. I actually remember seeing a video. She's done a couple of shows. She did. I think that was her first performance. It was at Alliance Française a few months back.
Well, anyway, I guess it's pretty clear that Baba Tenson is terrible at live stand-up, unless he totally changes his set. Because, I mean, look, if you've got the deep down funny bone, if you work on it, you can probably work out on how to put it across. But it's obviously different from Facebook videos. I don't know what he needs to do, but you're right. Like you're saying, there has to be a comedy club where people go and try. And, you know, like you go there expecting to hear whack comics as well as good ones. You know what I mean? And then...
Yeah, usually like with comic clubs, you don't even pay to get in. You're just paying for the drinks.
Yeah.
So it's just an add-on. Like you're going there to get drunk. And if you happen to see a funny guy, it's a plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, so apparently Gonyet was really funny. Baba Tenson was terrible, horrible. Q was apparently really good. And I heard one of the jokes he made. Apparently he goes there and he's like, at the beginning when he's thanking everyone, he's just like, no, I want to thank everyone for organizing this. We want to thank the vice president for allowing us to use his lounge. And I was like, oh. For those who are not in the know, the vice president of this country has been under fire lately because he's been living at the HICC. And that's where the performance was. So apparently, there were a lot of political jabs, which are quite funny in Zimbabwe. If you have the gonads to go for it, I wouldn't recommend it myself. But, more power to you.
Exactly. Apparently the kids are saying, and not me, of course, because I'm not part of them, but apparently the kids are branding this hashtag Hatichachka. So maybe that's what it's based off of.
It's
but not me, not them, not me.
Anyway, shout out to Cube, because I remember the first time I saw him perform, I was less than whelmed. I felt like it was I felt like, because he's funny when you're like interacting with him and talking to him and whatever, but like on stage, man, he just went for shock value. You know what I mean? When someone just says like the most outrageous, outlandish things just to get shock, and it's not really funny. But over recent years, he's totally changed that, and he's really throwing in puns and whatever. So, shout out to Q, man. Shout out to Q. 3,500 people there apparently.
What is the expected turnout?
Its capacity is 5,000, but that's like if it's packed. So. They keep on saying just under or close to capacity crowd. So, I'm glad that she managed to do that. Shout out to Anne Kansiime, man. It's good to see women in comedy actually making headlines. That's dope, and I feel there's a lot of room for that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, man. It's good. Maybe next time we'll actually get to see her perform.
Yeah. You know what? She followed me on Twitter and DM'd me. So, I'll see if I can organize that.
And what did she say?
Oh, that's a Joe Budden Drake situation there. I can't just be putting that out there.
Is it? So you'll allude to the DM, but you won't release the DM. But we'll know what the DM is. But you just won't show us the DM, even though you've told us what the DM is. And Charlemagne is telling us what the DM is. You just won't show it to us. Okay, I got it.
Okay, if you
That is
must
the
know,
weirdest.
she literally said thank you for the interview on radio earlier. That was cool, and that's it. So, but I'm having it framed, hanging up on my wall. I really, really tried to get it on Two Broke Twimbos, and she was open to it. But hey,
That manager of
Yeah,
hers,
her manager
he's a
is-
special brand, eh? He's special.
yeah.
So
So yeah, she was because she came on Thursday, her performance on Saturday, so she had Friday, and I was all like, "Are you guys gonna be in Harare?" Yeah, we're gonna be in Harare. Can I get 30 minutes maybe or something? Yeah. And well, she was like, "Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's make a plan. Let's organize." And the dude was like, "No, you see, you should have told us before we came. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "No, but she's open to it. I mean, we just have to." Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me not malign someone that I may have to have dealings with in the future. I understand. You know what? It's cool. It's cool. You didn't want the popularity bump that Two Broke Twimbos could have given your performer there, but that's fine. Anyway, so yeah, shout out to Anne
that's right.
Kansiime. She's hilarious. She's cool. And she's just as funny in person.
Shout out to her.
Anything else worth talking about? I mean, we're gonna make it short this week because holiday mode. Plus, I've just seen my boss walk past and look inquisitively at what I'm doing. So
I need to share this funny message that I just received. It's hilarious. So a rapper just dropped an album. And this rapper has been known to say some silly things on the social media. So people were discussing like, yo, this guy just dropped an album. Maybe we should share it. Maybe we should talk about it. You know what I mean? And then someone was like, let me quote verbatim. I will never sit and listen to his music. Only way I'm hearing that album is by surprise.
So, well, knock knock, who's there? Presses play. Come on. Shame.
So that's a word of warning to you artists, guys. If you're a rapper, know who you eventually want to sell the music to. Don't be a douche online. Don't be an idiot. Be strategic. Learn to brand yourself accordingly.
The importance of PR. We preach it every week. Every
We
week.
do.
Anyway, I did want to mention as well the fact that the Olympics are on, and as you know, I can't afford DSTV. So I try to follow it by using the internet that has been provided to me at my home. The internet I use is courtesy of Zoll. Zoll Fibronics provides a package that adds little as $29 a month. You can get 15 gigs every month of fiber internet to your home. But I've got, of course, the $150 package. Now, that provides for me an unlimited amount of internet. And it's really how I've been following the Olympics. That having been said, at the moment, the way I am following the Olympics right now is by Google's little, I don't know, it's some intuitive little feature that Google provides. Literally just type in your country and Olympics, and it gives you like all the information about, you know, the athletes in that country, the schedules, which medals they've won, which for us is currently sitting at 0. But, you know, that's cool. That's cool. The results, the games, and so on. So that's how I've been following it. You should check it out. So just Google Zimbabwe Olympics, and it will just give you all of that. So I was just checking out Zimbabwe. Big shout out to Kirsty Coventry, who didn't manage to qualify for the semifinals in the backstroke swimming that she was aiming for. But that's okay, because you know you've already represented us, even though you blocked me, girl. I ain't mad.
Why did she block you?
I don't know.
Why did she block you?
I don't know. Ever since I've been such a big fan, and I've never said anything negative in my life about Kirsty Coventry. I love her. I met her in person the one time, and like there's a picture of it on my Instagram. I look like a little. Yeah, I look very uncomfortable and unsure of myself because I felt like I was in the presence of a star. You know what I mean? Excuse me, Kirsty, please can I have a photo picture? It's like, yeah, of course. Shh. Why I just wanted to mention that you blocked me on Twitter. I mean, you know, I just wanted. I'm I'm sure you knew what you were doing, and that's cool. But if possible, and then like her husband or whatever, like, no, we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. Okay, move along. So anyway, even though you've blocked me, girl, you still have my full 100% support. Hashtag unblock Dan Kirsty.
Please don't retweet that hashtag.
I'm really about to start that movement.
Yeah, it's going to fall flat on its face. Much like an Olympic athlete.
Anyway, so shout out to Zimbabweans out there. I think
shout out to the Warriors. Yeah, doing the best they can, really.
Anne Kansiime actually had something to say about the Warriors, because when she came in, the first bit of news she was greeted with was Zimbabweans are proud of the mighty Warriors despite their 6-1 defeat. So she was like, what do you mean exactly? I'm like, no, I mean, it could have been worse. And in all honesty, I think it's a bit of an indication of the mediocrity that we've become used to. I mean, yes, Germans are the world champions. And yes, we're impressed with the style of play that Zimbabwe had, but we really shouldn't be celebrating a defeat. So rather, just be proud that we have our team representing us and cheer on the wins and encourage them on the losses, as opposed to cheering on the losses. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. And let's be honest, that team has overcome so much. I mean, from their former captain being sexually abused by the coach and contracting HIV, to them not being paid, to them having to sleep. I mean, I think there was a time they were supposed to go to Tanzania, was it? And they were told the day they were supposed to depart that they weren't departing anymore because the funds had been misused. So, yeah, it's been an absolute mess. The funny thing is, though, that Big Phil, the other Big Phil, not me, won't hesitate to brag about the fact that the team is in Rio. Yet there seems to still be a little bit of disparity in the cash that they're being allotted and so forth and et cetera, et cetera. So it's very interesting.
Anyway, yeah. But anyway, our support is obviously with them. Shout out to the team out there. Also wanted to give a special mention to the Zimbabwean rower. Her name is Micheline Thorncroft. Machine Thorncroft. Machine? Something like that. Anyway, she came 7th.
Michen.
Michen.
In the quarterfinals. Michen.
Yeah. Came 7th. Yeah. Out of 24. So that's pretty impressive. And, that's cool.
Let's hope she does not fall ill, because the water that these athletes are rowing in is filthy.
Philip, coming from Zimbabwe, I think she is well equipped to deal with any filthy water that she may come across.
Does she even stay in Zimbabwe?
I don't know.
That's another question.
That's a good question. But, shout out to Miss Thornycroft.
The only people that I know that do rowing in Zimbabwe are Peterhouse girls. Like, who else does rowing in this country?
No, but that's because they kind of have to. You know what I mean? Because after the bus journey to get to the school, you kind of have to go across.
No, but the dam's on the other side. Row your boat gently down the stream. We're off to Peterhouse.
Yes. Anyway, shout out to all my Peterhouse girls. I love you, man.
Yeah. Word up.
Yeah. Shout out to the Zimbabwean team out at the Olympics. Follow them, support, man. Come on, support your team. You know what I'm saying? Tweet, even that one tweet about someone who you don't really know until you Google them. At least that's something. You know what I'm saying? So
Word up.
That's one way you can do it. Google's got very smart with this kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know, man. Anything else happening, Phil? Anything you can think of? Or
Hey, there's a lot, Dan. There's actually quite a bit happening. DJ Khaled, #1, Major Key.
Oh, his first #1 album, yeah?
Yeah, but also the way that Billboard records #1 albums, it's hard to explain, but they're trying to adjust with the times.
Yeah.
But I really feel that they've lowered the bar a little too low. And I was having this argument with guys on Twitter. If you remember last week, Ebro had a conversation with Drake. And during this conversation, Drake had said, well, obviously, Drake and Joe Budden have their beef. We've discussed that. We discussed that, right? Didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Right?
Yeah, yep.
So for those that don't know, Joe Budden is signed to Shady Records under Slaughterhouse. Shady Records is, of course, the record label of Eminem. There was a rumor spreading that Eminem was now considering firing back at Drake on behalf of Joe Budden.
The rumor, of course, coming from Ebro.
Ebro then asked this question to Drake. Drake then says, "Nah, it's cool. I got some heaters for him if he wants beef." He then goes onto the radio, shares this information. Internet goes crazy. Like, are you guys serious? You're telling me Drake wants some of Eminem? Because those that know hip hop know that there's no way in hell Drake and his ghostwriters can even touch a candle to Eminem. Eminem has ended careers.
Several.
Not
like dying careers, like they were at their peak.
Murder Inc. Ja Rule was coming off of 6 consecutive #1 records. Gone. Off the map. Everlast had switched to alternative music, #1 records. Gone.
Benzino.
Insane Clown Posse. Gone. Benzino and The Source. Eminem was so bad he killed a magazine. Gone.
Fam, Eminem wrote a diss track for his mother. What do you think he's gonna do for you, bruh? Anyway, so
based off that discussion, the Drake stands were like, but Drake is as successful as Eminem. And I was like, guys, on which planet? And I pulled out the numbers. Right. The only way Drake is touching Eminem is weeks at #1 with a single. And that's because his latest single, One Dance, and his new album has been #1. So that has allowed him to break the records. What people don't realize is, starting November
his
of last year,
non-rap single, by the way.
Yeah. Starting in November of last year, Billboard, the Grammys, the UK as well, they all started recognizing streams. So, for example, in the UK, 100 streams equals one conventional download or one single sold. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if I go and I buy a single on iTunes for $1, they're saying that if someone streams that single on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube 100 times, that equals one purchase. You get what I'm saying? So based off that new criteria, it's helped boost Drake. Drake has now been #1 for 13 weeks. He only got unseated this week in America by DJ Khaled. What they also do now is sales of the first single contribute to album sales, which is something people haven't considered. So, for example, if my first single goes gold, by default, my album goes gold when it drops. You get it? That's why DJ Khaled has now finally got his first gold album, because the singles have gone gold. So if you take, I think his first single off Major Key was, let me just double check here. Give me a second, sorry. Let me just load it up on the iTunes, see if I remember. Right, we've got...
It wasn't Gold Slugs in them?
No, so the first official single was I Got the Keys.
Oh, okay.
Right. So let's say, for example, if I Got the Keys accrues enough streams, just enough streams on Billboard that it equates to 200,000 singles sold. All DJ Khaled has to do is make sure that the singles and the album equate to 300,000 purchases when the album is released for his album to go gold. The same thing with Drake. Drake went gold the first week because the first single, One Dance, had already gone gold. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People don't think about this. So the bar has been lowered. And but once again, it's a very new, streaming is a very new market. People don't really understand how big it is. But it's now very easy for artists to go gold. That's why you've got guys like Chance the Rapper, Kanye West.
You don't want no problem, want no problem
They all
with me.
broke the Billboard Hot 100. Hello, sorry, I didn't get the last part.
Oh, I was just singing. You don't want no problem with me.
Yeah. Basically, Chance the Rapper was the first artist to ever break into the Hot 100 off streaming alone. Panda, another example. If you guys remember, Panda was #1 on the charts before he finalized his deal, before it was on sale, because of all the streams on YouTube and SoundCloud. That's another thing people need to consider. So, guys, that being said, Drake don't want these problems. He does not.
Yeah, and I mean, for actually not even this. Even if we totally exclude numbers, sales, figures, money, whatever in this whole conversation, there's too much of a target for Drake and not that much of one for Eminem. Do you get what I mean? Like, what can you diss Eminem? If you're going to do diss records, if it's really going to be beef, it's not going to be about I sold more than you. Mm-hmm. It's going to be, because it's Eminem. I mean, it's going to be standard beef that's very personal. And there's a lot to go at Drake for. Not very much to go at Eminem for. Because, I mean, what is there that Eminem hasn't put out himself? It's just like in freaking 8 Mile, man.
Yeah, but I think that is up to interpretation, because as we've also realized in the last week, there's a lot of stuff that people in the industry know that the public will never really know, maybe outside of a disagreement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Look at Takeover versus Ether. Like, Takeover, Jay-Z was hot. Jay-Z revealed so many of Nas's secrets. Jay-Z's mom told Jay to go on radio and apologize. That's how bad it was. Some kids don't remember that, but Jay-Z went on radio and said, "I'm sorry, Nas," because his mom was like, "Fam, nah, this is too much. No, you've gone too far. Someone's going to die because of you dropping all these secrets."
Shame. Oh, well, anyway, that's not even... I spoke about it on radio the other day, and I saw some people sending in messages trying to start a debate about Drake versus Eminem. I was like, listen, we're not even going to... Like, it's not... It feels like a waste of time and energy for me to even try and debate this. So it's fine. It's cool. If that's what you believe, there's literally nothing I can say to make you change your mind on that. It's fine. Cool. And it's not even about who do you stand for, who you a fan of. Man, some of Drake's recent work, I'm kind of a fan of it too. But let's be serious, man. Anyway, so yeah, big shout out to DJ Khaled.
I really hope this beef pops off.
It would be so much fun, though.
Because think about it, man. Eminem hasn't dropped an album in 3 years. He's probably at home raising Haley, counting his money, maybe looking at the radio station reports and so forth and so forth. So he's got time. He's got time. And this is what I just feel like his hands are itchy. He's like, I haven't had a beef in a while, man. Do I still have it? Screw it. Let's get into it. I still have it. Bam.
Yeah, I'm hoping so much that it does pop off as well, but I don't think it will. If you remember back in the time when Eminem was pretty much doing a full-on blackout on his music, there were only 2 verses that he put out. There was one on T.I.'s album and one on Drake's album. Mm-hmm. Remember Forever? Where even on that song he was low-key throwing shade, where he was basically saying, I killed everyone on this track.
And even then, Drake was like, yeah, okay, maybe you did. I'm sorry. Fam, you guys don't understand. Eminem is a bully in every sense of the word. Eminem is a bully. Like, I can't even think of the Twitter equivalent, but who's the... Was it Nero? Nero, yeah. Eminem is like Nero. The guy that got kicked off Twitter for those tweets.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Eminem don't play. Eminem is lethal. Oh.
Nah, it won't come up. It won't come up. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe Drake has a bit of an inflated sense of ego right now, but I can't think he would do that. No.
But
he's too
another
smart.
thing is, as duplicitous as Drake is, because he's got a lot of inconsistencies and he's got a lot of shit I don't appreciate about his work. What I can appreciate, though, is he's very intelligent. I don't think he's that dumb. Because if you look at Drake's career, he's been very smart at aligning himself with people on the come up, piggybacking off their success, and then hopping back off again. So when Migos on the come up, he'll hop on that Migos wave, hop back off. I Love Mackinnon, hop back on that wave, come back off. Now
so-
Gucci's on a
and
wave.
somehow
on the Gucci
he-
wave,
yeah.
hopping back off.
He looks like the one who's made it pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but meanwhile, he's literally just leeching off these various people's movements and capitalizing off of that. That's what he's very good at. In that same breath, I think he's smart enough, he's adept enough to realize, wait a minute, nah, I can't do this. Because at the end of the day, if an interviewer comes and asks you, Eminem is going to diss you, you think Drake is going to say, no, please, Eminem, don't do that. No, I'm scared. He's going to say, like, yeah, if he wants it, I'm ready.
And
But
then he'll send a message to Eminem like, "Listen, man, I'm just playing.
I don't want none of this problems. I know I love you.
We still
dog."
on for that play date with Haley, and I mean, like, can we? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Anyway, speaking of drama and behind the scenes stuff, things are popping off in South Africa, fam. It's very interesting. I'm riveted. Riveted.
Specifically with regards to
What's going on with Mabala Noise and EFF and ANC?
Malema's comments.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, on Friday, last week, South Africa had its local elections. The ANC lost quite a bit of its power throughout the country. EFF being the new party, I think they're about 3 years old. They got about 10% of the vote, and they were very happy about that. So they had a press conference, and then, like, what I noticed is throughout the press conference, Julius Malema was highlighting the fact that he can't compete with the ANC financially. He was speaking of how the ANC spent R1 billion on their campaign, but they didn't spend more than 10 million, and the DA spent 350 million. Then he mentions how artists came to him and were like, these guys are offering us so much money, we can't say no anymore. Then he unleashes the smoking gun, as it were, saying that the ANC is basically laundering money through Mabala Noise, and Reginald Kabinde, who is the owner of Mabala Noise, who also has a construction company, is getting tenders via Nomvula Monyeke, who is the Minister of Water and Irrigation. Wow. And so she's giving him these tenders illegally. He's then taking the proceeds from those tenders to fund Mabala Noise, and then Mabala Noise is then taking that cash to pay these artists, and the artists then perform at ANC events as a way for them to basically boost their coffers, because if the ANC can't afford to pay them via normal means, they'll then pay them via Mabala Noise. So they're very large, how can I say?
Weighty accusations, yes.
Yeah. So obviously the timeline was a buzz. The caveat to that being is when Mabala Noise was making these signings, and I was trying to figure out how they were able to sign so many artists, what they were offering, I got a hold of a few people that I know in the industry. And that one of those individuals is quite familiar with what was going on in the parties. He then gave me the story. I'm not going to repeat all of the story, and I didn't publish the story because at the end of the day it's hearsay, but I trust this person and they know quite a bit of what's going on in the industry. What I will say is, basically what the person had told me, Mr. Malema repeated it during the press conference. The only difference being is the figures. So Mr. Malema says that everyone got paid 5 million rand. This person gave me staggered figures. So it's still very interesting to see. There was a press conference yesterday. They asked him, as the treasurer of, because he's the treasurer of the Youth League as well, the ANC Youth League. They said, won't it be a conflict of interest if these artists perform at an ANC event because you're the treasurer of the Youth League? Then he said, no, because I've had this company for many years and I was in business before I was elected to that position, which... well,
I don't even know what's going. I don't know what's going on here, man.
right, basically, press conference. Are you recording?
Yes.
All right, guys. The internet keeps cutting off, so I'm going to be quick now. Basically, it was a press conference. He basically said that you know what? Go to my website, africanhiphopblog.com. I basically break it down, but in an attempt to distance him.
All right, look.
Long story short, Internet keeps cutting off. Just go to my website to read the story, but it's a fun story. Okay.
All right, let's cut it off before anything else turns off. This has been Two Broke Twimbos. We're going to make it less than an hour today because, holiday mood, holiday fever. We'll be back again next week. In the meantime, don't forget you can find us online on the websites. That's www.twobroketwimbos.com. We can also find us on the podcast. You can find us on iTunes. We're also recently available on Apple News. So that's some great developments. So if you want to follow some news, you can go through Apple News. Two Broke Twimbos is available. We stay posting up the links and stuff so you can check it out if you follow us on social media. Did I miss anything?
Yes, right. Follow us. Twitter, Two Broke Twimbos. Facebook, Two Broke Twimbos. Viber, Two Broke Twimbos. Me, Phil Chard, at Twitter. Danny that guy on Twitter. And that's it. We're out. Aha!
Ah!
We broke.